Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Chiki Maidikta Indah Safitri. I'm student of STKIP Al Maksum Langkat. So, in this video, I will explain about one of the experts of philosophy. From all the experts of philosophy, I will talking about Plato. Do you know Plato? Plato is known as an ancient Greek philosopher. He is the greatest philosopher and also mathematician. So, in this video, we will get to know about Plato's figure, we will discuss his biography as well as his ideas. Plato was born in Athens, Greece on 427 BC and died on 347 BC in Greece. His father's name was Ariston and his mother's name was Pericton. Plato came from an aristocratic family that held important politics in Athens for generations. Since he was young, Plato also aspired to become a citizen of the country. The name Plato was given by his teacher because of his broad-shouldered stature and commensurate with his tall and well-built body. Since childhood, Plato has received many lessons including drawing and painting, then continued with studying music and poetry. Plato was very good at making poems and essays even before he grew up. As usual with the children of good people at the time, he received education from philosophy teachers. Philosophy lesson first obtained from Cratylus. Cratylus was a student of Heraclitus who taught everything passes, like water. Apparently, such teachings did not settle in the hearts of aristocrats who were influenced by their family tradition. Since he was 20 years old, he attended Socratic lessons. It was the lesson that gave him satisfaction. Socrates' influence deepened in him day by day. He became a loyal student of Socrates. Until the end of his life, Socrates remained his idol. In all his writings in the form of dialogue, question and answering Socrates' position is as a guiding point. Shortly after Socrates died, Plato left Athens. That was the beginning of his 12 years wandering from 399 BC. He first went to Megara, where Euclid taught his philosophy. From Megara he went to Carina, where he deepened his knowledge of mathematics under a teacher named Theodorus. There he also taught philosophy and authored books. Then he went to southern Italy and on the Syracuse on the island of Sicilia, which at the time was ruled by a tyrant whose name was Dionysius. Dionysius invited him to live in his palace. In Plato's biography, it is known that in 367 BC, after he was 20 years old, Plato then settled in Academia, received of invitation and assistance from Dion to come to Syracuse. Dion was the brother-in-law of King Dionysius, who became Plato's best friend. Attracted by his desire to put his theory of government into practice, Plato left for Syracuse. He was greeted by the king with joy. But for the king, philosophy was of little interest. Finally, intrigue, slander, and incitement is rampant in the palace. Eventually, Dion was had by the king and banished outside Sicily. All his attempts to defend his were unsuccessful. Plato himself, with great difficulty, was able to return to Athens. But 6 years later, on 369 BC, Plato's heart was lured again to come a third time to Syracuse. With the passion of philosopher, he returned to Athens. Since then, he has focused his attention on the academy as a teacher and writer. A philosopher wrote about him as follows: Plato is good at doing. He can study like Solo and teach like Socrates. He is good at educating young people who want to learn and can attract the attention of friends to him. His students love him as much as he loved them. One of Plato's famous and growing thoughts is about ideas. Ideas start from rational logic or can be accepted by common sense and then develop into a view of life. Not only as a way of life, this idea could develop into the basis of other science, such as political science, social science, or religious knowledge. According to Plato, ideas can arise in every human being and do not always depend on the opinions or view of other people. Everyone has an idea, even though it needs to be solved or explored further. This seems to be more or less influenced by the teaching of Socrates, who explained that mind is knowledge. In other words, the teaching of knowledge is essential for developing a knowledge-based mind. Both Plato and Socrates, both of them are looking for the meaning behind knowledge and reason. Both explain that knowledge and reason are not obtained from experience or from views. So that our biographies about Plato, hopefully it can become new knowledge for us in knowing about the history of one of the world's philosophers. And what is explained can be motivation in continuing to learn. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.